Hey guys, so here's the update. This is day 8. This is Monday night. We brewed on last Sunday. As you can see, fermentation's pretty much came to a very slow point. You can see a lot of yeast and hop debris on the side. I have not dry hopped yet. So we are dry hopping on day, what day would that be? 8, 9, 10, 1. I think it's day 12. But as you can see, I took a sample, and you can see the color. It's got a nice little orange tint to it. Very, very clear. The coating yeast is supposed to give a little bit of haze, but this is super clear. So what I did is I kept fermentation. I kept fermentation at about 68 to 70 degrees. And what I did was I pitched it at 68 degrees and then I let it free rise. So what I did is I turned off my freezer from my temperature control so that way it couldn't go colder. And I think the highest it came to was about 72 degrees, which I read on one of the forums that that's actually the temperature they think that the Alchemist brings it to. So we're going to take a sample. I'm just trying to get my eyedropper. So we're going to take a sample on the refractometer and see where we're at. Let me just put this down 1 second. Alright, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but we're coming in right at about 10 bricks. Now obviously I have to adjust for the alcohol in the solution, so I will pull that up on the computer. Just the smell, a lot of grapefruit, pineapple, some pine. Definitely get a little bit of the coating yeast. So it's definitely very bitter. I would say it's about as bitter as Pliny is. It definitely isn't harsh. It's got some bitterness to it, but it's definitely not harsh. The flavor's very good. I do get a little bit of the coating yeast, and mainly the hops. Alright, so let's pull up Beersmith just to put those bricks in and find out what the correction is. So, refractometer. Alright, fermenting wort gravity. Alright, so we had 10 bricks. Oh, excuse me. Starting gravity was 1.077. Alright, so we are coming in at about 1.017. So we're almost there. The beer's got another 2 weeks in primary. So what I'm going to do is, tonight's Monday, I'm leaving Thursday night for a Michigan brewery tour. So driving 13 hours out from Philadelphia to Michigan, and I'm going to hit a bunch of breweries all in Michigan because my birthday is next week. So we're going to go to Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, and Detroit. So that's next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry hop Thursday night, which, like I said, I think that's day 11. So I'm going to do it a little earlier than I'm supposed to. The original recipe is supposed to call for the 14-day. So I'm going to do it in the 11 unless I feel otherwise. Fermentation looks like it's pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry hop on day 11, and then I'm going to dry hop again on day 15. And then what I'm going to do is on probably day 20, which will be the next Friday, I'm going to pull out the, I'm going to pull it out and put it into my keg. Sorry, just got back from the gym, a little low blood sugar, can't think. But I'm going to put it into the keg, get it nice carbonated, and hopefully have it ready in a couple days after that. Since I have a carbonation stone, it only takes usually 2 to 3 days to fully carbonate. So that would come out to, I believe, 14, 21, almost 23 days grain to glass. So we'll see how it goes. I'll check in on dry hop day. So again, we're going to split the dry hops day 11 and day 15 as of right now. Alright, I'll check back in. Okay guys, so I didn't get the dry hop before I left for Michigan, so I actually just dry hopped today, which would be day 16. So I'm a little off, but still good shape. As you can see, I dry hopped with half of the dry hop edition. You can see it's a lot of hops. I still have the exact same amount to put in 4 days. So today's Tuesday, I'm going to put that in on Friday. And then I'm going to keg it on Tuesday of next week. And then hopefully it'll be ready for my homebrew club meeting the following Saturday. So as you can see, word actually came up pretty clear, even though I haven't cold crashed or anything. So it's crystal clear through the transfer. Obviously, some of the hop debris will cause it to get a little cloudier, but this is pretty much it. So day 16, just dry hopped. Alright, I'll check back in on day 20 with the second dry hop edition. Alright guys, so update. Today is day... oh, I don't even know what today is. 24, I think. So as you can see, we're getting ready to transfer to keg. Got a nice layer of hops. There's not much yeast in there. It's really just all the hops from the dry hopping. I just primed my keg, so as you can see, a nice blanket of CO2 in there, prevents some oxidation. Then we're going to do our transfer. So I did not do a check-in on the second day of dry hopping. I basically just dropped the hops in. Wasn't really anything interesting. So I will get a sample today, and then this should be ready in about 3 days because I use a carbonation stone. So I will check back in when it's ready. Alright, so I took a sample after I kegged it. You can see it's about Heady topper clarity. It's not the clearest, but neither is Heady topper. With all that dry hopping, you don't really expect to get too much. It did come out to 10 bricks with the alcohol in it. That comes out to about a 1.017. We were shooting for about 1.015, so it's a little higher than it should be. I do have allergies kicking in today, so I will try to smell this and taste it and see what I get out of it. So I'm getting a lot of the cone yeast, peaches, pineapples, almost like a citrusy, piney finish. So I would say it smells pretty close to Heady. It's not the strongest because there isn't any carbonation, so without the head there really isn't much. Let's see how the taste is. A lot of the peach, the pineapple, lots of pineapple, some grapefruit, pine, citrus. It's very complex. I would say this is really close to Heady already. I'll know better when it's carbonated. Bitterness isn't too bad. It's definitely up there. There's a lot of IBUs in this beer, so it's definitely up there. But once the carbonation gets in there, it'll probably mellow out a little bit too. So I will check it in again in about 3 days. So with the carbonation stone, it only takes about 3 to 4 days to carbonate. So I have a homebrew club meeting on Saturday, and today's Tuesday, so hopefully I'll be able to bring it to the club. Alright guys, we will check in with the finished product. See ya. Okay guys, so today is day 27. Heady has now been carbonated for 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to pour it and see what we got. Alright, so you can't really see, it's a little cloudy, but it's actually, for a dry hopped IPA, it doesn't look too bad. smell is really piney, pineapple-y, peach, citrus. So it's actually a little more fruity than I was hoping. Heady Topper is a little more piney than this. It's very pleasant though. It's not bad at all. For the amount of hops in here and the IBUs it's supposed to be, it is not the most overpowering bitterness you'll ever see. It's a lot of pineapple. I'd say pineapple's the predominant hop flavor you get. Get some citrus. There's a nice little bitter bite to it. Some grapefruit, peach, pear. All in all, it's pretty good though. Not quite Heady Topper, but it's definitely there. You can definitely pull out where it is the same. It's a little sweeter. I would like to dry out a little more. I was supposed to shoot for 1.015. I got 1.017, so maybe next time I'll shoot for like 1.012. See if I can get down there. A little drier might be good, but the malt that you do get is definitely Heady Topper. Like I said, it's a very pleasant IPA, very drinkable. It's worth a try. I mean, you maybe have to alter a little bit of the hop schedule. I would definitely try to get some more pine and citrus and resiny flavors than the fruity. So for those of you who know all the hops out there and are better with just kind of creating your own recipe, you may want to try to alter that a little bit. But all in all, it's a pretty good recipe. I'd say it's close, but it's not quite. So if you're looking for something a little more authentic, I would definitely try to alter a little bit. But for the most part, this is definitely a great recipe. Maybe tweak it a little bit and give it a try yourself. Any questions, let me know. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more stuff for you guys. I'm going to be brewing again next weekend. Probably doing a red IPA, so I'll be posting as I go. Like the video, and I'll hear from you guys soon. See ya.